Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Prakash Coaching Classes. Today we are going to start a new chapter of science, which is metals and non-metals. Basically this is a part of a chemistry chapter. So here in this chapter we are going to look into the physical and chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So let's start with the physical properties first. First we will discuss the properties of the metal, and then subsequently we will discuss the properties of non-metal. Starting with metals, they possess luster. As you can see, metals, for example, iron, manganese, copper, gold, silver, all classified in the category of metals, have shiny surface. Best example is gold and silver. So they metals possesses a luster. Second, they are generally hard. Metals are generally hard, they are not soft, they are generally basically hard. As example is iron. Third, are malleable, they can be beaten into the sheets. Best example is aluminium, copper, gold, silver, all are examples of metals. Next is are ductile, they can be drawn into the thin wire. Again, copper, as we can see, the transmission line of passing electricity are all examples of a ductility of the property of the metal. Next, are good conductors of heat and possesses high melting point. Metals have high melting point and they possesses heat. They are good conductor of heat, they allow heat to pass through it. Example, iron, copper, gold are the examples which exhibits these properties. Second last, are good conductor of electricity. As we can see, copper, electricity can be passed through copper. Aluminium, iron are all good conductors of electricity. Are sonorous, they produce sounds. As you can see, the bell in the temple, that is an example of sonority of a metal. So metals produce sound when they strikes with another object. Now next is non-metals. Non-metals possesses property just opposite of metals. Let's discuss them one by one. First, they don't possess any luster, they are not shiny, have not shiny surface, they are soft and brittle, easily able to cut. They are neither malleable and ductile, nor can be beaten into thin sheets or wires. Are bad conductor of electricity, they don't allow electricity to pass, as copper, nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus are all categories of metals. Non-metals. Are non-sonorous, don't produce sound, have low boiling and melting points. So as you can see, these properties are completely different as compared to metals. However, there are some exceptions in metals and non-metals. Let's see some of them. First is iodine is a non-metal, but it is lustrous. Iodine possesses lustrous characteristics. Diamond, which is a form allotrope of carbon, has high melting and boiling point. So diamond possesses this property of high melting and boiling point, while the property is basically of metals which exhibit this property. Non-metals have low melting and boiling point, but there is an exception of carbon. Last, mercury, which is liquid at room temperature. Metals have generally solid at room temperature with an exception of mercury. Next, chemical properties of metals. So in this topic we are going to discuss how metals are reacting when what are the chemical properties of a metal when a metal is react with another chemical, what is the nature and what are the products it forms. First, when burned in air, that means combustion. When metal is reacted with oxygen, it forms metal oxide. Example, copper reacts with oxygen to form copper oxide. Second, there is a term amphoteric oxides. Amphoteric oxides meaning such metal oxides which react with both acid and bases to form salt and water. In the previous chapter we have seen that when metal oxide react with acid or salt, it forms salt and water. So here amphoteric oxides are such metal oxide which reacts with both metal and acids as well as bases. Example, aluminium oxide. As you can see, aluminium oxide reacts with hydrochloric acid to form AlCl3 plus H2O, and it also reacts with base to form sodium aluminate and water. So this amphoteric oxide term is important with respect to examination point of view. Next, metals when react with oxygen, they react at different rates. For example, sodium and potassium are very aggressively reactive. That is why you can see sodium and potassium are immersed in petroleum or kerosene oil, because as and when we keep in the room temperature, it catches fire and can burn our hand also. Second, magnesium, aluminum and zinc are less reactive as compared to sodium and potassium, but even at the room temperature they can react and form metal oxides. Third, iron and copper are least reactive metal in the air. They slowly form a metal oxide layer on it. It takes time. Second is the reaction with water. Metal react with water to form metal oxide and liberate hydrogen gas. Example, potassium react with water, react to give KOH plus H2 plus heat energy. And this is since on the reactant side heat energy is liberated, this is an exothermic reaction. It is a very aggressive reaction and it liberates a lot of heat. Magnesium react with hot water. Magnesium, a metal, reacts only with the hot water. It does not react with the cold water. Aluminium, Fe, zinc don't react with any hot or cold water. They don't react with any water. This is the reactivity series when reaction with water comes. As you can see, potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum are highly reactive, and this side are less reactive in water. So thank you for watching this video. Do like, subscribe and share the video.